Well, good morning to all of our viewers in Northwest Arkansas, the Arkansas River Valley, Northeast Oklahoma, and of course, Southwest Missouri. We're so glad you're starting your day here with us at Weather 225. We got some things to talk about today in terms of that forecast, maybe some more rain chances on the way. I got to say, over the weekend and, mostly Sunday and yesterday for your Memorial Day, forecast actually wasn't pretty bad. We did have a couple pop-up showers across parts of the area, mostly eastern Oklahoma, parts of the Arkansas River Valley, but we didn't have anything widespread. That's some good news there. But we do have a little bit of a change of the forecast. Rain chances are returning today for parts of the region. We'll walk you through that with Future Scan Radar here coming up. Here's a look at what we got for today. A little bit cooler in northwest Arkansas in the River Valley compared to some other locations. And we'll show you that here in just a little bit. That's going to be thanks to some of the overcast conditions and some shower and thunderstorm development that we could see. Otherwise, a little bit warmer in northeast Oklahoma. Stillwater starting this afternoon into the lower 80s, warming up into close to the mid 80s. It really just depends on what Mother Nature decides to do. Right around the lower 80s, maybe upper 70s, anywhere from the River Valley all the way into portions of southwest Missouri. So that's a look at what we've got there. Now, moving on, there's no highlighted severe weather risk today, but it's going to be one of those tricky afternoon type developments where you could get one or two storms that develop. We're not expecting widespread or organized severe weather, but it could be one of those days that you get some brief gusty winds with some of this activity and maybe some pockets of some smaller hail. But like I said, we're not expecting organized or widespread severe weather. Moving on, here's a look at those rain chances today. And this is why I was saying parts of the area. Not everyone in our viewing area is going to see storms. Southwest Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Not everyone in these areas is going to see it. The algorithm is detecting better activity for parts of southwest Missouri into northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and our southeastern and eastern portions of Oklahoma County coverage area. With that being said, it's an algorithm. It's not perfect. It's not set in stone. There could be some activity closer to Tulsa, Stillwater, all of that. It's not going to be widespread, but it will be a couple of pop-ups to watch for. Now, some of us could see some rain totals, and this is why I was saying be mindful. Even though you're not into those higher rain chances with that algorithm, the Weather Prediction Center is showing that if a couple pop-ups do develop, some of us, especially in eastern Oklahoma, could see anywhere between 1 to maybe 2 inches of rainfall. It's going to be tricky because the activity that we see develop later on, if and when it develops, it may not move very quickly. So some localized areas, not all of them, may see maybe as high as 1 to 3 to maybe 3.5 inches of rainfall, especially in our southeastern counties. So here's a look at Future Scan Radar. And, starting off later this morning, some scattered showers are going to move in, maybe some areas of some thunder, mostly northwest Arkansas, parts of the River Valley. But here's what I was mentioning. Western counties that we cover in the Tulsa metro, some pop-ups start to develop this afternoon. Now, here's 4 o'clock in the evening. Nothing widespread, but notice more activity kind of starts to bubble up in parts of the area. So we're not talking everyone seeing storms today. We're not talking widespread. Every single person's going to see it, but you saw area wide, you're going to have a little bit of sporadic activity. Parts of eastern Oklahoma, there could be some scattered showers and thunderstorms, hit or miss activity. It's also going to be tricky because Futurecast, all the models, everything like that, it doesn't handle this part of the country well. From northeast Oklahoma, southwest Missouri, and the northwest Arkansas viewing area, for whatever reason, it doesn't have a good handle on that. The other thing, too, to think of is when you get these pop-up showers and storms, you get those lines, and if you ever see us covering storms, we've had it in DFW the last couple of days. If you've been watching coverage in those areas when we've been live, you get these outflow boundaries. That's rain-cooled air that gets pushed out ahead of these storms. And when these outflow boundaries form, they act almost as a triggering mechanism. So when that boundary starts to develop, it leaves some of the storms and it makes its way away from that activity. In certain types of environments, it can actually lead to more activity. So this is why I'm saying not everyone's going to see rain tomorrow, but there could be kind of a chain effect where, you may get, a couple storms that develop, they create outflow boundaries, and then you get additional development from that. It's really tough to determine with Future Scan Radar. So we'll just keep an eye on it tomorrow, or today, this afternoon, excuse me. It's not tomorrow, it's today. And, this afternoon, if you have any plans, like I said, just keep an eye on it. And the best way to do that is by having apps that send you lightning alerts. There's many that are out there that are free. They're very helpful. And the only reason I want you to get a lightning alerts app is because that is going to help you if you're outdoors today. Over the next several days, we got rain chances pretty much into the weekend. Northwest Arkansas, same with the River Valley. The temperatures this go around with the forecast looking a little bit on the cooler side compared to some of the outlooks that we saw previously. Now, first week of June, it's going to start to warm up pretty good in some parts of the area based off of what I'm looking at. And that's not surprising. Late May, June, that's when you start to see temperatures go up. But we're starting to see, eventually down the line, outside of this 7-day forecast, with these temperatures that are kind of steady and the rain chances, once we get in early June, we're going to be in a ridging pattern, which means we might start to see a lot more drier conditions, at least maybe for 1 or 2 weeks. And then you're also going to deal with a quick warm up with that ridging pattern. So at least for the early portion of June, it looks like we could be heading in that direction. Once that's into the 7-day forecast, time frame a little bit better, you'll see what I'm talking about. Northeast Oklahoma, kind of the same thing, 80s and 70s, hit or miss rain chances the next several days. And then notice the temperatures a little bit cooler with this latest update, but keep in mind, and this is one of the things that we talk about all the time, I want you included in these forecast segments. Same with Southwest Missouri, Northeast Oklahoma, Northwest Arkansas, River Valley. We change these forecasts throughout the day. Forecasting is not typing up a forecast. It's, that forecast all day, that day, the day after, and all of that. We change the forecast numerous times a day. And, it's an educated guess. That's the best way of describing it, if you ask me, because, especially in this part of the country, Northwest Arkansas, it tends to be a very tricky place to forecast. Same with parts of Southwest Missouri, Northeast Oklahoma. So over the next several days, moral of the story, take it a day at a time. Rain chances will be there. We've got a chance for some warmer and some slightly cooler temperatures depending on the location. And these rain chances could stay, depending on the location, all the way into early weekend. So that's a look at what we got. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know this is a little bit longer, but we'll be tracking this throughout the day. You can advertise with us this storm season and throughout the year. Contact us today for availability and pricing. Weather 225 since 2015.